Hi, everyone. First, I just want to say thank you so much for having me here this afternoon. My name is Christianna Wincek, and I am the Flyknit Material Design Director in Nike's Footwear Innovation team. I'm going to be talking to you today about the role of design in performance and technical fabrics and how that relates to our Flyknit product line. So at its core, Flyknit is a product that is nearly waste-free. It is a tunable technology, and it's a brand new way of making footwear. I have a video that will tell you about the beginning of the Flyknit journey.
It's tough to pick an exact point where it all began, but you could say it began with a line. Call it a starting line. Imagine a group of runners, towing it, tensed, ready for the starting gun. Better yet, imagine their coach, an innovator, a tinkerer, a man obsessed with making shoes better to make runners better. Drawing on experience and a little math, he figured the best way to make shoes better was to make them lighter and fit better. It was the start of a line of thinking that produced ever lighter, ever faster footwear in the pursuit of the ultimate running shoe. Along the way, the line formed new patterns, took an unconventional turn or two, was spun into pure gold, became a wire. Until after decades of learning and years of development, the line became a thread, intertwining the disciplines of art and science, and the insights of athletes and engineers, leading to an entirely new method of making shoes that finally unlocked the secret to precision, fit, and performance. An advanced process of engineering and design that integrated exceptional breathability, surprising support, and most remarkably, the ability to adapt beautifully to the foot in motion. And the beauty of it was, it did it all using only what was needed, and nothing else. Creating a shoe with an upper that was ridiculously light, and whose leftover material weighed as much as the paper on which it was calculated, which sounds a lot like the ultimate running shoe. And that is not just another line.
So the Flyknit journey began in 2012 with the Flyknit Racer, which was launched in advance of the London Olympics that year. At the time, it was the first engineered unibody textile footwear-based upper launched onto the market for performance. So at that time, Nike's most democratic running shoe was the Pegasus, and it was made from a 50-part cut-and-sew upper. Each individual piece then created a great deal of waste, and as you can see, our Flyknit uppers are knit entirely to shape, eliminating any waste from the product. It's made in one single engineered layer, and this move to tuned and engineered uppers offered us a lightweight and breathable solution that had amazing fit and began what has ultimately become a nearly 10-year journey with Flyknit. In creating the Flyknit Racer, Nike as a footwear company broke into a new space of product that's ultimately defined by its building blocks. So these building blocks are the language of knitting. They're like the DNA of any knit product, and the building blocks are material, knit technique or structure, and off-machine processing and build. By combining the building blocks, what you unlock is performance, style, and sensation, as well as the sustainability of a made-to-shape, low-waste product. And in this model, the machine is a tool for creating product. With the knitting machine and software that controls it, choices are made that combine the building blocks to meet the needs of each individual product. And all of the choices defined on the machine are creating the performance, sensation, and aesthetic. And this group of product from 2016 Olympics, I think, does a great job of showing how you blend all of those things together. So the choices that need to be made to allow for the gradient are different, but connected to the choices that are made for the angles that control the containment for the foot. And what does this mean for textile design? So my perspective on textile design is, of course, defined by my own experience. I was educated at Philadelphia University, receiving a master's degree in knit textile design. And then I started my career at Nike about 6 years ago. So I began as the first footwear knit designer who was hired into Nike. At that time, I started on a team that was primarily all footwear designers, as well as a team of technical knit specialists. And so it was kind of a new space of expertise that we were bringing into the team. I worked hands-on on fabrics for 3 years, and then transitioned into my current role where I work more defining the future strategy of Flyknit, as well as developing a team of young knit designers that work underneath me. So it's my opinion that today's most impactful textile designers hold a really strong balance of technical knowledge and design thinking and creativity. They're able to excel at concept, but they also zoom into the details. And when we began our Flyknit journey, we solely had technical knit specialists and footwear designers. We then added in this blended expertise into the space of knit design. And as we continue to move forward, we move to a model where the lines between our design spaces are blurring more and more. We are creating a new class of designers who are able to consider the micro and the macro simultaneously, the building blocks of textiles, as well as the greater vision of the shoe. In turn, this pushes our technical specialists to think more about the capabilities of the machine. And this evolving expertise and approach to design can be seen in the evolution of the Flyknit journey. So the Nike NXT Kobe 360, which was released last year, was one of the first Flyknit uppers that wrapped in 360 degrees under the foot, improving the connection to the foot, increasing containment, reducing inch of movement, and making athletes measurably faster. And I have a little video that speaks to the development of the 360 product.
Nike Flyknit started a revolution in performance-engineered footwear. And this is the next step forward. Breakthroughs in the Flyknit process now enable an upper that wraps 360 degrees around the foot. The 360-degree knit is designed for a second skin feel, letting the shoes move with you. Engineered for better agility and speed, this process reduces separation between the foot and the ground. A more precise fit locks you in to reduce in-shoe movement. Athletes want to win. It's that simple. We're taking Flyknit to new places, so you can focus on sport and not your shoes.
So the unique performance advantage of the 360 project was born out of an understanding of the potential of the machine, but it could only deliver on that potential by understanding how it can be applied in product. When we design for Flyknit, we design with the tool and the machine in mind. In this product model, the microscale knowledge of the machine and fabric begins to define the output. As our expertise in this product model grows, our potential to impact product by working this way continues to deepen. So how do we foster this, and what does it take to encourage this new class of designers? It's ultimately about building, zooming in and zooming out. It requires designers to be constantly thinking about the technical needs and performance demands of the fabric itself, as well as zooming back out to deliver on the performance requirements, the sensation, the experience, and aesthetic of the full shoe. When we design for Flyknit, we design for performance both at the fabric and the product level. So these designers are constantly addressing the micro and the macro concerns together. We're encouraging our knit designers to think beyond the swatch to the whole shoe concept, and we encourage our footwear designers to think beyond the traditional style lines that they're associating with their cut and sew process, to think about the embedded functionality that we have in our Flyknit fabrics. And what does this mean for the industry? Flyknit is ultimately just one example of a tuned method of make-defining product. So we see this increasingly in more and more categories in the product space, from consumer electronics to transportation, as well as even furniture. And we ultimately have brought this same thinking back into apparel. Apparel has always really owned knitting, but hasn't always come at it from this space of a technical goal. And we've applied what we've learned from Flyknit footwear and taken that to this apparel space with the Nike Phenom Flyknit bra, which launched last year. We have taken our same Flyknit footwear approach with a technical focus, tunable performance, and a single surface method of make, and we were able to bring innovation to high support bras, which have always struggled significantly with comfort as well as accessibility. we took what we learned from Flyknit and created a reduction in layers to create this unilayer engineered construction, which delivers amazing high support and incredible comfort. And if this new way of making is opening up a new way of designing for us, ultimately I believe that it can for everyone. This approach of zooming in and out, of balancing technical textile skill with product design thinking, this application of the building blocks, the language of textiles to create unique product can be applied across markets to create a new paradigm of product creation for applications with performance needs or technical constraints, creating a new world of product that is uniquely tuned to its needs. Thank you so much. Oh.
Thank you very much.